Hey. Hello.
Good evening.
Hello. Welcome to Backchannel. This is the only place to listen to, watch, and chat with hosts like me of live shows like this here on your Echo. Did you like that?
It's good.
Like me, like this.
Like that.
So this is Backchannel. And what's special about Backchannel is that if you're on an Amazon Echo show, you can talk directly to me and to Will. Say hello, Will.
Hello.
I'm Kate as well. So Kate and Will, we are
The unofficial Kate and Wills.
the unofficial Kate and Will. And that's exactly what we are from now on. The unofficial Kate and Will. I love that.
Mhm.
So what's really special about Backchannel is that I really just want to chat with you. And you can probably see on your Echo show, if you're in visual, some of the chat on the side of on the stream on the video. So what you do is the instruction for your Amazon Echo is the word say. So you'll use your normal word to instruct your Amazon Echo, whichever one it is that you use. And you use the word say, and then you follow that with the instruction. So you might want to say hello. So you would say your device name, say hello. Now, last time I was on Thursday, we got some feedback about how it's so weird when you do it because you don't know if it's done or not, and it's really easy, and people might see it, and I might have got it wrong, and there might be swearing. So to reassure you, it will come through. Obviously, it's technology, so we might not quite get your name right, or might not quite spell what you've done right, but that's the technology's fault, not you.
Yeah.
And if you do swear, it automatically takes it out. So you're never going to put anything into the chat that by accident that you don't want to see, or if you lose control of yourself mid-instruction, no swearing is going to appear. You can try that right now if you want. Just
Give it a
say
go.
whatever you want to put afterwards and see what happens, because it'll come up in the feed as well, up in the stream as well. So please take part. Today, I am obsessed with chaos because chaos seems to be ruling my world at the moment. You will?
Yeah, it's very topical in the minute, isn't it, for us?
Yes, it is. So Will and I are working together at the moment. We've got a lot on, and I know I say that all the time, but it really seems to have stepped up. I don't know how it's happened. And so it's chaos, and we're looking for the calm in chaos. I love the word chaos, and I love the word calm.
I like that they're both words that start with the C, but mean very opposing things.
And they have silent letters in them.
Yeah, good one.
And just the word calm. It's just really lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, my favorite thing about calm is, and I know we've spoken about this before, Kate. My granny used to have, or still does have, the Little Book of Calm, which is it's literally just a small book, and I can't remember what it said in it, but it was very cute, and it always made me feel very calm.
I've got one like that, and it's full of like Marcus Aurelius quotes. The kind of
Yeah.
Stoics
Mm-hmm.
talking about calm and being in control of the things that you control. Nope. Being in control. Nope. No, you're in control of the things you can control and letting go of everything else. There we go, found it. Got there in the end.
You got that. I thought of you and Everyday Positivity and the group as a whole yesterday because I told my housemate that they might have to take their fingers out of the dam.
Oh, yay!
Because they were worrying about an exam they had coming up and all the rest of it. So,
well, at some point in the process of preparing, I think we're going to have a problem with my words today.
it could be.
Just to say,
It's difficult.
words seem to be forming oddly in my mind. Yeah, there does come a point when it comes to preparation where you just kind of have to let go because there's only so much you can do, and you have to just let it happen. Now, Will mentioned Everyday Positivity there. So if you're new to Backchannel, if you're new to me, hi, I'm me. I have a podcast called Everyday Positivity. And the idea of it is it's a daily reminder. It's only 2 or 3 minutes long. It's a daily reminder for you to be kind to yourself, to be good to yourself, because I know, based on extensive research of my own brain, that it's very easy to fall into negative ways of thinking. It's very easy to fall into traps of beating yourself up about stuff. It's just easy to fall into and sludge, and it's a really slippery downward slope. So the Everyday Positivity podcast is designed for you to feel good. So that's what we tried to bring to this show. We're doing, Will, you'll have to tell me the time.
You'll have to.
On this show is on.
Oh, now is 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Is it?
I
don't think it is. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, wrong way. 2, 1, 12, 11, 10. Oh, yeah, no, you're right. So 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 6 a.m. Pacific Time, and Central Time, I think.
You're pushing your luck with me for that one, okay?
Oh, it's
I
7
can
a.m.
look it up, though.
It's either 8 a.m. or 10 a.m. I think it's 8 a.m. Anyway, point being, I'm here at that time every single week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And the idea is that you and I will have the opportunity to just feel good about ourselves, right? That's what the point is, isn't it, Will?
Yes, that's the point.
So shall we begin? Because of this chaos, and I really want to know what brings you joy. So if you have anything that you want to share with me today, don't forget you can use the word say and then put what it is that you want to talk about. So you ask your device, use its name, and then say, and then whatever you want to put after that. And I'd like to know what brings you joy, what the simple things are that bring you joy, that give you your calm in your chaos today, please. So let's create some calm in the chaos, and let's just start with some breathing. I'm loving the idea that someone might tune in right now and see this, but hey, let's crack on. Let's see what happens. Okay, so what I always ask people to do is just get centered. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and we're only going to do a minute. So even if you're rushing around the kitchen or there's stuff going on, just stop. Put your cutlery down. Put whatever it is down that you've got, and just stop. And we're going to do. It's really simple. I'm just going to ask you to take a couple of deep breaths, and then we're going to do 8 full breaths. Okay, and the reason I ask you to take a couple of breaths is because sometimes when we're all like, oh, but I'm scurrying around, rushing around, we forget to open our lungs. So let's pull shoulders back. You can close your eyes if you want to, and just take a couple of breaths, just in your own pace. And just relax across that chest and release. One more before we start the 8. So, okay, let's do 8 breaths. Here we go. Nice and deep in and out. 2, in and out. 3 and out. 4 and out. And really push all the way out. 5 and out. 6 and out. 7 and out. 8 and out. And you're back. How do you feel? How do you feel when I do that?
It's honestly, obviously, in the time that we've
worked together and spent time together,
I've picked up a lot of things from you, and one of the is definitely how much just taking a minute to do some really deep breaths really helps. Even when you're feeling overwhelmed or anything like that, it's incredible, really, and it is something that I practice. I do it quite a lot. It's definitely one of the things that I've taken away that I do all the time now. And it helps so much. It is one of my key takeaways. Do you know why it helps? I've put you on the spot here because, scientifically, do you know why it helps?
Well, I think there's a number of reasons. I think it's biochemically, we change our body when we breathe, right? So we bring in more oxygen, we bring in more feel-good stuff, more good stuff, and we nourish. Neuroscientifically, what it does is it helps us to, and I always get these the wrong way around, I think it helps us to engage the parasympathetic nervous system. So the sympathetic nervous system is that state of alertness. It's the state of adrenaline rushes and cortisol, so stress hormones that are really useful to us.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones that make us go, "Oh no, there's a tiger," and we fight or flight response.
Yeah,
And actually, most of
useful.
our lives, we're like that all the time. We're switched on and we're being stimulated all of the time. So it's always something new coming in, always something new happening, especially like in the 21st century when we've got phones and it's all about that dopamine hit. Like you're looking for that thing all of the time, the new thing, the new thing, the new thing, the new thing. And what the breathing does is it helps us to come down off that for a bit. So what it does is it gives you it tells your brain you're safe. It tells your brain to be calm, and it taps into the parasympathetic nervous system, which again, then, that's attached to our gut. That's attached to our, bringing on the oxytocin and bringing on all of those kind of good, feel good hormones.
Yeah.
And the other thing that's really important about doing that is that if you can reduce the level of stimulation through your day, it helps you sleep better at night. And the more you sleep, the better you are in the morning, the better in the day, and cycle. So those little 8 breaths, it all counts. So
it feels like something so small.
You did put me on the spot there, but I think I got
it. You answered it expertly, Kate. So well done.
Brain
I'll try and catch you out again next time.
I need to do full research before those sorts of a question. No, I don't really. So they're the reasons why.
We use words like grounded, and that if I had to pick a word to describe how doing some deep breathing makes me feel, it would be grounded.
Yeah, and that's to do with it coming back to the floor, I guess, and coming off that stimulation that raises you up.
Yeah, the stimulation, the lack of, just taking a break from all of that sensory input for a minute.
And in Chinese medicine, when they do the holistic stuff, the 5-point acupuncture stuff, the yellow is about being grounded. The yellow color, it's one of the. Oh, no, I am going to get lost now.
Put yourself on the spot.
I haven't done it for a while, you see. It's to do with the energy flow around your body, and I can't remember what they call them, but it's the paths that run around your body. And the yellow, we talk about being grounded, and that's to do with your gut. And like the Chinese medicine stuff is really, really fascinating. If anyone knows about Chinese medicine, then please tell me what tell me what you know, and it'd be good to see it in the chat. And don't forget to use the word "say" before you give your thoughts, because then it'll appear here in the chat here in Backchannel, which is the point of Backchannel. It's the only place to listen, watch, and chat with hosts of live shows right here on your Echo, and your Echo show is the one that you need. So, should we do some good news stories?
Let's talk about some good news, Kate.
Okay.
There's loads. We've got lots to talk about.
What do you know? What the other thing is? We haven't done Dolly news.
We haven't done Dolly news. I actually didn't prepare any Dolly news for today, which I bet I could have done.
I bet the internet will have some Dolly news.
Maybe I'll try and find some before the end of the show.
Dolly party. I'm on the internet now.
Whilst you're doing that, I'm going to talk about another thing.
Okay.
I talked about breathing being one of my key Kate Cocker takeaways. But the other one is gratitude. And Kate always says, or you always say, gratitude is the lever upon which we pull ourselves out of a funk.
Lever, yeah.
Now, anytime I'm talking to someone and I feel like they're in a funk, I always ask them some things that they're
what are you grateful for? Do you do it like that? Do you go? They go, "Oh, I'm so down." What are you grateful for?
Yeah, I do it in a very combative, very aggressive way.
I hope so.
Is to ask them what they're grateful for. But there's a portrait artist. She's called Justina Green. I can't remember where she's from, but she's been doing portraits. She's been asking people to kind of paint portraits of the things that they're grateful for. And I just thought that was ace.
That was through the pandemic, wasn't it?
That was through the pandemic, and so especially it was the focus on the really little things. So there was some really beautiful ones, like go for a bike ride, and there's a lot of people's families, and even things like the coffee pot and stuff like that.
Yeah, that is nice. It is really funny that, like, I asked on the Facebook group in September. The Facebook group is called Everyday Positivity with Kate Cocker. Please feel free to come join. I asked in there about what has brought you joy this week. And it always fills my heart that it's things like a trip to the mountains with the family, or my dog, or my garden, or my chickens. I love that. All sorts of really simple things. The end of the work week, drawing, family, cutting. cutting down trees. I love it.
There's nothing too small, is there, to be grateful for?
No, never, ever. And like I always get to my legs. I'm always really grateful for my legs for some
That's a
reason.
good one.
I'm always like, I'm just grateful for my legs because they've got me here. And I'm grateful for the fact that I can get up the stairs and I can do the things I want to do. And my little Fitbit flashes my 250 out, 250 steps. I always get to that point.
That's a good one. And I like the idea
Mm.
of people like painting them as well,
Yeah,
painting
it's
their
really cute,
gratitudes,
huh?
because we're crafty people. We're crafty people, as in people who enjoy doing crafts, not like crafty people.
So how's the knitting going?
Good. I'm excited to be able to do some more. I've graduated to hats,
Huh? From where?
like scarves.
Okay.
So I've gone from straight lines to like curves. So it's a bit of a learning curve, but we're
And how long have you been knitting for?
2 or 3 years. I taught myself just kind of off of the internet, and it's just I like it because it's a hobby that I have that doesn't require looking at screens.
So it doesn't require what, sorry?
Looking at a screen.
Ah, yeah. And your brain can go, can you do something like this?
Oh my goodness, not yet, but that's the goal.
That's
That's a
not
nice
my hat.
one.
I know. I found it at the weekend. I was at an event and they were selling these hats, and I was like, right, I'll get one of them.
That's ace. It looks
It's
very
really cute,
warm.
isn't it? I got a blue one as well with the big pom pom on the back.
Yeah.
But well, the best thing about it, and for the Canadian amongst us, this is a proper toque. This
Oh yeah.
I love a toque, but yeah, it's got the fleece lining,
That's good.
which is makes me very happy. So yeah, that's going on. About to as soon as I finish here, I'm getting on a train down to London. So that is going on
You're
while I
gonna
walk
need it.
around in the cold in London. Well, I'm hoping it's cold. Having discovered that. Oh, one of my good news stories. So there is a Dolly Parton news. Dolly news.
Good. Thanks.
That's the jingle.
Good jingle.
Jingle. Dolly Parton to reunite with 9 to 5 co-stars in the final season of Grace and Frankie.
Oh my goodness.
So for all I love Dolly Parton, I've never seen from 9 to 5.
Me neither.
Maybe we should watch it the weekend.
Maybe we should. Because there's the movie, but now there's also a stage show.
Yes, correct.
Originally
Also
a movie.
not seen.
No, me neither. No.
But I love those three. So we've got Lily Tomlin, Jane Fonda.
Jane Fonda, yeah.
And Dolly Parton. There's a picture of this article of them, I think, presenting an award at the Emmys, I think.
Yeah.
And Dolly Parton did that thing where she just didn't say anything political at all, which is amazing.
I remember that.
They got really political and she was like, oh, girls, just
my
fun.
style.
Yeah, like her style. And it was the Emmy Awards 2017 and Jane Fonda looks about 22.
As she does.
She's got these extensions in that give her a really long ponytail and she just looks amazing.
Yeah.
She always looks
I love
amazing.
that for Jane Fonda.
Yes, lots of Jane Fonda. Good Jane Fonda news. Let me give you some of my other good news stories. So I love this one. It's about the cat.
Okay.
So the cat in Aberdeen, right? There's a cat that went missing 10 years ago.
That's ages.
10 years ago, 2011. Called Forbes. The cat is called Forbes.
Great name.
Yep. They did a load of hunting for the cat. Disappeared. Never thought they'd ever see the cat again. Reappeared.
10 years later?
When was this? In September. Reappeared this last month. Wow. 2 months ago. 10 years! The cat that went missing. And the cat came back. Couldn't stay away. Go on.
From what I remember, it hadn't kind of gone that far.
Huh.
Was my understanding is that it was only a couple of miles away from where it had gone missing. That was my understanding, at least, when I found the story. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know. Yeah, 10 years is such a long time to be missing.
Nope, no idea where he's been.
Okay.
But what's really funny is that there's a picture of the missing cat picture and then a picture of him now, and I'm like, how do they know it's the same cat? I'm
They
like,
do know,
because obviously I'm a qualified detective.
of
I'm
course.
very good at these things. Anyway, the cat in the 10 years ago poster is a very slim tabby cat with very specific white marks over its nose.
Hmm.
And that's how they knew, because the marks are identical on the new cat.
That's good. Good. It's good to have identifying features.
Returned cat, yeah. So it just all animal news brings me joy.
And because especially because you're a animal person, you've got a pet cat as well.
Yeah, yeah, I do. And my favourite thing I was thinking about this. I was thinking about this as a Facebook post, which is, what's the name of your next animal?
I think about that a lot.
Do you?
I want to get a cat and I want to call it Samson.
Well, our next cat will be called Santiago, after Amy Santiago in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I
Okay,
also
yeah.
think Santiago's a great name for a cat.
Hmm. Hmm. Do you
Oh,
think
loads
there
of
are?
people have joined the stream.
Yeah,
Do I say hello to them?
if you'd like to.
Uh, Isaiah, Eva, Caroline, Pat, Caroline, and Yevon join the stream. Welcome. So if you are on an Amazon Echo show, then please take part by using the word "say" and then give us the name of your next pet. Not first pet, next pet. What's
I
the name
just
of your next pet going to be?
I went through a phase where I thought where I wanted to give my pets, my imaginary pets, my pets that don't exist, um, like food names, like marshmallow and casserole and mozzarella.
That's quite good. I heard someone talking about this the other day, that you have to be very careful about a dog's name because you've got to call it out in the park. The cat's name, you can pretty much call it whatever you like, apart
Mhm.
from when you're yelling for it on the back step if it hasn't returned.
Yeah, and I like hearing about what maybe it was you said this. I definitely remember hearing somebody talk about like what your pet is called versus what you actually call it or
Yeah.
them.
So, Pepper is the name of my cat, and she gets called Pepsi, Peps. My favourite one is, or Pepsicle. Or my favourite one is Pepper Saltzman.
Episode from Modern Family.
Yeah. Pepper Saltzman, we say, which I don't know if a nickname is supposed to be shorter than a name.
Is it longer?
Yeah, that's a few
I
more
think you can.
syllables.
I think it. I don't think you can be. I think he can be.
I took a dog for a walk with my friend in Greece, and he gave it a voice and everything. He was borrowing the dog.
Oh yeah.
She was called Rosie, and she's such a lovely dog. She was a lovely dog. But then he said, "I think that dogs have smell categories, and for Rosie, the smell categories go like this. Oh, that's interesting, but you may pull me off it."
Okay.
But Rosie had a voice. It was something like, "That's interesting, but you can pull me off that one."
Okay.
Uh, "Oh, I really do quite like this one. It's gonna take a couple of yanks." That's level 2.
Yeah.
And level 3 is, "It's a tortoise!"
Okay.
Bless her.
Well, that all seems perfectly normal.
And this is in Greece, and bless her, apparently she was really obsessed with tortoise. So if there was a smell of a tortoise, that was it. You'd lose Rosie and be like, trying to yank her back
Oh,
on
wow.
breed. And she's never actually managed to get into a tortoise, I don't think, before. But it did astonish me that dogs liked tortoises.
And now I want to know what they smell like.
And now I want to know what they smell like.
That's incredible. I was really old the first time. Really old. I was older than you would think the first time I walked a dog. I was 20, maybe, the first time I walked a dog.
I love you.
Do you know what I mean, though? Like, most people have walked a dog before they're 20.
Have they, though?
I think so.
I don't own a dog, but I walk a dog twice a week, or 2 dogs twice a week. And my daughter has started walking a dog.
Your daughter, who's younger than 20,
Yeah,
has
who is
walked a dog
12,
before.
now has a little pocket money job where she walks a friend's dog. She loves
If
it.
if
She
you're
loves it.
if
It brings
you're
so much joy.
watching, or if you're watching the stream, say to your device, say Echo, say I was 20 the first time I walked a dog, just to make me feel better about being older the first time I walked a dog.
No,
It was a greyhound.
I do.
I was.
I can't remember how old I was the first time I walked a dog. That's the problem here.
Do you think you were younger than 20?
Yes, I will have been, because my friends had a dog and we walked that dog. I also had an imaginary dog when I was a kid. It was a border collie called Rambo, and we used to and
That's so funny.
when we used to go on walks, because I wanted a dog so much. I wanted a dog to be my best friend so much that whenever we went on family walks, and I'd be like, "Ugh, walking." Funny,
Mm.
innit, that you do those things when you're a kid, and now I love it as an adult. But yeah, we're like, ugh, walking like that. And Rambo made it all better.
Imaginary Rambo.
Imaginary Rambo the dog.
When you say imaginary, you know you can get those like invisible dog collars. Was it like that, at least?
No, he was a very good dog. He was able to go off the lead. His
He
recall,
was an off-leash imaginary dog.
his recall was fantastic. Rambo, come! Son.
Yes.
I know. It's funny, isn't it, what you have with you? I don't know if I had an imaginary. Did you have an imaginary friend?
I don't think so.
No, I had an imaginary dog.
Yeah, that feels like a good substitute. I always used to think, like you, whenever we went on family walks, me and my sister would always say to our parents, we'd complain about this a lot less if we had a dog.
Yeah. I think you'd complain about other things, though, if you had a dog.
Oh, yeah, of course we would. And we'd probably still complain about the fact that we had to go on a walk, but
Yeah.
they didn't need to know that.
Yeah. And I like having a dog that I walk twice a week, because it's not every day. And I think if I had a dog, I would the novelty would wear off, I think.
This
I'm
is
like,
why,
I've forgotten to walk the dog.
yeah.
Right.
I always used to. Last thing, I promise.
No,
and
it's
then we
fine.
can move on. I always used to think that I was going to be a dog person. That I was a dog person, and I am. I like dogs, but now I think I'm a cat person, because they're a little bit less high maintenance. I think that's what I need in my life.
Okay, well, the good thing about having a dog in my life is that I do get these moments of calm, and I get to share them with my daughter, which is amazing. So this idea of calm on the walk for me, it was a bit of a win-win situation when we started walking the dog. The dog walk was a bit of exercise, something she enjoyed. The idea was that, I did dangle that carrot of, if you do the clearing up and you look after this dog well, then maybe we would consider getting our own. But really, the whole device was, I know your friends are getting dogs. We don't have time for a dog, but what we'll do is we'll love a dog. And actually, the outcome has been even more amazing, which is that she's now got a job, and she understands what it is to go and pick up a dog and take it for a walk and stuff, which is great. The other great thing about it was I learned that I created space for her. So in terms of our relationship, she is she's just that space is there now. Like twice a week, we go out for an hour, and if there's something to talk about, it'll come out at that point. And I'm really proud of her for sharing always, but I'm also a bit proud of me for creating the space. And it's our calm in our chaos.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. And I did an episode today about the calm in the chaos.
Would you like to hear it?
I would love to hear it. Why don't we do that? Hello, this is your Everyday Positivity from the Volley Network. My name's Kate Cocker. I hope you're well. So, I want to talk to you about what you do when your life feels like it's in chaos. Now, chaos comes in many forms. It can be that you're back to work now and you're in an office and you are no good at stepping out of that office and taking that walk that you used to do through lockdown when you were walking from home. It could be that you have got everybody lined up tomorrow to take the kids to something, go and sort your parents out, go and do this, go do that, look after all the people in your life. It could be that life just feels really chaotic, and if it throws you a curveball, then the chaos is going to feel like the wheels are falling off. In amongst all of this, I know that if you had a meeting booked in, you would not allow anything to step into that. You wouldn't be late for that person, or at least you'd try not to be. You wouldn't book anything else on top of that, because you'd be like, I'm sorry, I've got a meeting or an appointment. I've got to go to the doctors, I've got an appointment. Nothing would shift. And so what I want you to do today is I want you to look at your diary and I want you to book in a me meeting. A meeting with yourself. Meeting. I know I said this only a few weeks ago, but I am still talking to people about blocking in time for you, taking yourself seriously enough to know that you need 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 60 minutes in the day to just have your little island of calm in the chaos. So please look in your diary, look at what you've got on today, and just block out that time for you. Treat it like a meeting or an appointment. You wouldn't be late for it. You would fulfill the full time. You wouldn't book anything on top of it. Meeting, new thing. Let's devote some time to it. I can't say book on top of it, book in on top of it.
Yeah, that doesn't make a ton of sense.
Book in. Anyway, so have you got a meeting booked in for today for you?
Yes, I have. My friend who used to live in this house with me moved out, but she's still got some mail delivered here. So my meeting is going on a walk to meet her, give her her mail back, chat with her for a bit, and then get back to it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So I was talking with someone yesterday about this, and they said that during lockdown, it was really easy to do this because what you would do at your home, you're working from home and you're like, I must get up from my desk and I'll walk down the road and I'll come back again. And now that they're back in the office, they've completely forgotten that rule and they're just back to back to back to back to back to back to back and going for it. And I think, there is still a lot of change going on and we're doing it at a rate of pace. There's loads going on at the moment. There is loads going on for people going back to work. We're getting used to being back in the car. We're getting used to being back on track. It just feels chaotic. It's just, I cannot remember a time in my life, work, whatever, where I felt more chaotic than the last week or so.
It's interesting because it was so strange and difficult, and it took a lot of getting used to when we first got used to working from home or not going out and not doing all those things that we used to. But now kind of we're almost adjusting back in the opposite direction. And again, it's still going to take some time to get used to and to adjust to. So having a meeting,
yeah, it's like
is
Amy
really
Adams in
important.
the Muppets. I'm having a me party. I think it comes from as well. I think you. The thing for me is, so I didn't go to the gym this morning, and I should have done, because I've been trying to put that. My meeting is my gym time. I managed to give myself 3 deadlines tomorrow morning and it's all backed up. So I didn't make it to the gym this morning, annoyingly. But what I notice is that when I do that, it's that thing of, taking yourself seriously,
That was the line that really resonated with me from that episode, from today's
yeah.
episode.
And, I do feel like I've not taken myself seriously this morning because I've not been. And it's infuriating. So I did the work I needed to get done and I am ahead and it has been a bit firefightery today. So it's 2:00 in the UK now, or 2:45 in the UK now. So I've had nearly a full day of it. And now when I finish this, my meeting begins. And I'm going to sit down, I'm going to watch some telly. Finish off Maid and be done. So it is really important to try and get that time in. And I've been doing it I've tried to change the habit for the last week or so. And this was the first morning where I've had to break the habit. But tomorrow it's back on, totally back on, because I can feel the difference in me because of it.
And this is the thing, and it comes back to being selfful, which is a bit what we talked about last week on Thursday, that it's that time to kind of look after yourself so that when you're back to it, you can help look after other people. Make yourself shine. This is when you think. You can make yourself shine. So that, because when you're shining, everybody's going to shine.
Everybody's gonna shine. Lizzo, watch out. We'll get Lizzo on. Lizzo should come on at some point.
Yeah. So our guests so far need to be Lizzo and Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton and Lizzo are definitely our spirit animals.
Yes. Anthony in this chat said, "Hi, Kate and Will."
Hi, Anthony. Lovely to have you here. What are you doing today, Anthony? That is your meeting.
I imagine it's early. It's probably early wherever.
I know, but what are you? Okay, what are you looking forward to today?
My point is, there's plenty of time to book in a meeting.
Yeah, with yourself.
Meeting.
I'm making a cup of tea. And the thing is, that sounds to me like a Brit.
Yeah, yeah, could be.
Only Brits make cups of tea at that time of the morning. For me, you can make that cup of tea even more special by doing it with some real intent. So what you would do is you go, yes, I'm making a cup of tea, but I'm making a cup of tea for me to enjoy right now, and no one else can get me here. So, yeah, so the doing things for me is really powerful, I think, and doing it
Uh,
with intent. It's like kindness, and we'll talk a bit about kindness on Thursday, I think, because it's social media kindness day to day, and at the weekend it's World Kindness Day, I think, on Saturday. So I think sometimes, the kindness stuff is, I wanna talk more about it because kindness is one of the real keys to feeling good, and, you scientifically, it releases oxytocin to be kind to someone. So we'll pick up on that on Thursday. But this is my tea. This is my Yorkshire tea. Thank you, Anthony. Uh, that's about remembering that you're being kind to yourself and you're doing it on purpose.
mhm,
Do
mhm.
it on purpose. Um,
You
it is
you mentioned a
Yorkshire
bit.
tea. Pardon?
No, you mentioned about like how doing kind acts either for yourself or for other people releases those kind of feel good chemicals,
Yeah.
um, the oxytocin and serotonin and everything. And one of my good news stories was about this kind of it's not a foundation. It's about a group of people teaching the science of kindness
Yeah.
to young people, to little people between the ages of
The
like 5
little
and 12.
people.
Yeah, little people like kids, and it's all about it's a lot of it. So a lot of it is about the science of being kind, but a lot of it also is teaching them about um, their own kind of emotional awareness and emotional literacy and stuff. And my favorite bit from that article was at the bottom where they asked the kids to go and do kind of their own kindness science experiment. Uh, so to go and do something kind and to kind of report back how it made them feel. So one of the kids called their grandma, which I thought was a good one, talked to their grandma on the phone, and the other one made cookies. And they're both like, oh yeah, it made me feel really good, which I thought
No,
was great.
it makes you feel really good. So, I mean, don't wait to fill your cup before you can give to others, because one of the ways to fill your cup is probably to do something kind. But if you are constantly in a state where you are giving, 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 giving to the people around you, that's where being selfless is really important.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you want to take part and have a chat with us and tell us about your cup of tea or whatever it is that you are doing to bring yourself some joy today, in the calm, in the chaos, that joyful moment where you go, chaos, clear, clear, clear. Then make sure you speak to your Echo Show and you ask her to say, and then put after that what your joy line is. What are you doing to bring you joy? Say, I am enjoying a cup of tea, is how you do it. So, our final news story today to bring you some really good news in your life is Will, you found this one for me, which I love. Anthony,
I thought it was.
I
I,
am
I
enjoying a cup of tea. I think you
I
found this
like.
one deliberately, didn't you?
I
You're
I
like,
wouldn't say
"This is a
deliberately,
cuppa."
but I like to. I like to, if I can, I like to find stories that I know are kind of relevant to you, Kate, or kind of the things that we talk about in everyday positivity. And I think
Yeah.
this was one of them.
Yes, it was. So 80-year-old powerlifter can still pump 800 pounds and inspire seniors to hit the gym. Boom. When you get a lost missing cat story, you go, yes.
Mm-hmm.
When you get 80-year-old powerlifter story, you go, yes. It's like the
The
90-year-old
wins.
woman who does amazing yoga or does ballet. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
yes. Yes. It's just
It's a win.
it's a total win. And I think it just reminds you that you're never too young to never too old, never too young, whichever way it is, or to try something new, to do something new. And I get a real kick out of seeing people doing things that they thought they couldn't do at a certain age. Like, for example, I've got an aunt, right? And she had to have some knee surgery doing. And this is the thing with your body. Something really funny about the relationship we have with our body. My aunt, she must be in her 60s, and she's needs a knee replacement. And we went on, we were away with them, and we said, right, let's go on a walk. And she was like, I can't walk because of my knee. I can't walk because of my knee. I can't walk because of my knee. And she spent a lot of time sitting and it hurting and all of that kind of, I can't walk because of my knee. So I said, fine. Well, why don't we just try a short walk, and we'll come back, and if we won't go too far from home, because if you're struggling, then we'll come back. She went, yep, great. Anyway, I got lost.
Oh, okay.
10 kilometers later, we got back.
Oh my goodness.
And she burst into tears. And I was like, oh my goodness, what's wrong? And she said, I just have been telling myself for the last year that I can't do this. And I can.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I get that feeling when I go and do exercise. Mr. What was his name in the powerlifter person? His name is Mike Palin. Brilliant. Has practiced Olympic-style weightlifting since he was 12, and 68 years later, he's still going strong, 800 pounds strong to be precise. He just lifted 765 pounds that morning. Now, there are kilogrammers among us. I need to work out what that actually means.
Just to touch on what you're saying, there's a quote from that man, Mike Palin. He goes, he says something like, that's why I never let myself get old. Because your brow is furrowing like the maths.
I know, I've just done some maths and I don't think it can be right.
Okay. But he said, yeah, like I never let myself get old. I just don't let myself get old, so I can still lift all of this weight, which I think is good.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with getting old. I was a bit like that. I think it's good to be getting old.
Yeah, but what he's saying is that it's not a barrier to him lifting all these super heavy weights.
So I'm 42 next month, and I did my first CrossFit competition at the weekend. And we won!
It's amazing. I knew this already because it was on tomorrow's episode of Everyday Positivity.
Yeah.
Broke the fourth wall.
Yeah, and we won. And it was really cool because what's really funny is I've just not put myself in that environment ever to know if I would be in a position to win. Now, there were 6 of us, we've got a really strong team. But what we did was we just focused, like the whole week beforehand, I was like, I've got an injured shoulder. Someone else was going, we're all over 40, some of us in our 50s. Someone was going, I don't think I can do that exercise. And actually we're a team. So you can, because you can bust out 21 moves of something.
Mm-hmm.
And so it went really, really well. And we came second in our category, and that took us through to the final. And then we accidentally won. It's really funny when you watch the video of me doing my little, there's like we're carrying this, it's called a worm, and it weighs like 150 kilos, which is about 330 pounds, which, by the way, I think I've worked out is what Mr. Palin is lifting, which can't be right, but it could be right. Anyway, you're holding this worm, all 6 of us in a row. It's like a big sandbag. And we had to go over this box. And so we kind of worm over this box. And I'm absolutely exhausted. And we dump the worm down. And my hands go to my knees, and I'm looking at the floor like, because I'm like, we clearly have not won this. Mm-hmm. And as I go down to go like this, I hear this really big cheer from all the guys from the CrossFit box that are with us. And I look up, and my teammates are all in their hands in the air. And one of the other teams is over high-fiving. And I'm like, did we win? Because it was A, when we look at the video, it was really, really close. And B, we just weren't thinking about the competition. We were just thinking about getting it done. And I think
just focus on yourself.
Yeah. And, we spend forever talking about comparisonitis and not comparing yourself to others. But on this occasion, it did sort of make me go, oh, I'm okay. I beat myself up so much about getting things right, doing things right, being right, getting it done well, being on target, not dropping balls. And then I think, oh no, it just sort of set me, I don't know, it's probably the complete wrong thing to do because it means I am comparing myself to others, but it was just such a really nice thing. And actually, I suppose, even if we hadn't won, I think to be able to go, right, we've done that now, first one.
Yeah.
I'd quite like to go down, like in CrossFit, you have like the Masters category, which is for the over 40s. And then you have sometimes you have a scaled competition, which is like not full movements. And then you have the really hard one. And I kind of think I'd quite like to work my way down the categories in my old age. I think that's quite cool.
Okay.
I'd have been 50 and on the RX, which is like the top level.
Yeah. Still keeping you fit. So when's your next competition then? Are you going to do another one?
Well, we've got an internal one at the weekend. So I've got my son involved in that one. That's going to be quite good fun. We've got proper mixed teams, but it's just everybody in the same gym doing it together. And then I think we'll go for one in February. But
nice.
yeah, Yeah, and it's nice. It's nice to have something to aim for. Like people go running. It's really nice, like doing marathons and stuff. It's really lovely to have something to aim for and to start to understand your training. Like the one thing that sorry, this is very geeky, but I do think when you train physically like this, it does give you good metaphors for life, which is that, on game day, you'll do stuff at 100%. When it matters, you pull it out the bag, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But actually in training, if you're doing 100% all the time, you're going to be exhausted.
And this
so
is
you probably need to be about 70% of the time. You probably need to be doing in your training, you need to be giving 70%, not 100%.
And this can be applied to everyday non-fitness things. So you can't work at 100% all the time.
No. And I think that's why it feels so chaotic for us at the moment, is that we are back to back to back and we've got a lot going on. And I've got three deadlines tomorrow. And you end up feeling like, oh, like this.
Yeah. But then, if you can drop it down to 70% on the days where you do need to be at 100%, you can do it. And
yeah, absolutely.
Work.
So 70% always. It's like on my cooking. Oh, this is going to confuse people because it's a Celsius rather than Fahrenheit.
No.
On cooking, it's 180 always, right? 180 always. So everything cooks at 180, especially in the air fryer. Brilliant. It's about 220, I think.
I was going to say
Fahrenheit.
I'm going to look it up.
400 maybe. Gas mark 6. Gas mark 6 every day.
Apparently it's 356.
There you go.
That's the temperature that everything cooks at, regardless of what it is. Or
100%.
Anything.
But yeah, if you do 70% every day, then on the 100% days, you've got it, right? If you're doing 100% every day, then... And that's why this calm in the chaos and carving out this space for yourself can really help to maintain the 70% rule,
Part of that 70% should be, or part of the 30%, should be taking time for yourself, having your meeting.
Yeah. Meeting.
You like that, don't you? You're proud of that one.
Okay, so what are our key takeaways today then, Will? What have we learned? Dolly Parton's going to be on the telly with Grace and Frankie. Lovely.
So our homework is to watch 9 to 5, either the movie or the stage show.
I'll write that down. I've written it down.
Thank you.
9 to 5 film to prove our Dolly devotion that we've both recently discovered.
Yeah. Find some calm in the chaos. Book yourself in the meeting. That's my key takeaway.
Doing this on Thursday.
Yes. Practice. Acts of kindness. Be kind to yourself and to others, because that'll make you feel good scientifically.
And be like Anthony. Have your Yorkshire tea.
Be like Anthony. Have your Yorkshire tea.
I'm enjoying a cup of tea. See?
Yeah. That was
a cup of tea with intent.
He also said he really loves our show, which that's kind of a given, that one. But
I know.
Whatever.
And you can keep on watching Backchannel, which is it's new, guys. This is new, right? It's about being able to talk to the hosts and do it live, but not have to stop and text. You're not having to do textings or anything. You can literally just talk to your Echo show and ask it to talk to us. So you would say, Echo, say, and that word say is really important. I am biased, which is what Anthony said about his lovely cup of tea, and I think our show.
I think so too.
I have a funny feeling I know which Anthony that might be.
I think so too.
We have an Anthony on Backchannel, don't we?
Yeah, and I was okay. So the reason I haven't said it is because if I was a better producer, I'd be able to remember what time Anthony's show was on, but I can't. So I was just trying to ignore it, Kate, and not bring it up.
Yeah, okay. Anthony, when's the show on?
I think it's in an hour's time. I think, but don't quote me on that.
He's on in 2 hours. There we go.
So come back.
Anthony.
The
Thank
command
you, love.
You need to give to your device is open Backchannel.
Yeah.
To watch and listen to Anthony's show.
And talk to him. Use the word say.
Awesome.
Cool. We'll
Thanks
be back.
Very much,
yes, you're very welcome, Will Dell. The Kate and Will. The unofficial Kate and Will.
Unofficial Kate and Will.